Hi everybody. I make a lot of videos about people with personality disorders. I think the two most common, narcissistic and borderline. And so that's why you guys watch my videos, most of you. And many of you, most of you, sit and wonder, does the person I have in my life or in my past, do they have narcissistic personality disorder? Do they have borderline personality disorder? Do they have both? Maybe coming across my channel is the first time you even considered it could be both. Which one? Which one? Because when we come to these types of mental illness, it may not be which one is it? This one or that one? I hope this video helps. First, I want to start with these are very serious disorders. Very serious mental illness. Very serious. Not to be joked at, laughed at, made fun of. My video, this information I give you is not to diagnose anyone. It's not to use as labels or to abuse people. Because I bet some of you guys watching this video will do that. I know. Use this to their partner. Oh, you're just a narcissist. You're just a borderline. That's not what we're doing here. That's not what matters. But for some of us who have been victims of abuse, massive abuse and emotional trauma, we want answers and we want to know. And it's good. It's good to know. It's good to understand. And this is somewhere where we might get stuck a lot. So I hope when you can sit there and say, it'll be a lot easier if you can sit there and say they've got to have a personality disorder, right? It's that line they cross, that threshold. It's a big difference in people, huge. And then you can decide which one of the 10. And now you've narrowed it down maybe to cluster B because they're wild. That's what cluster B means, wild, amongst many other things, but highly exploitative. When you get across that cluster B personality disorder, it can be very exploitative. Now, I also want to say that I may not be talking about you even if you have one of these disorders. I'm not saying all people with the disorders do these things, but these are highly typical. May not be you. Okay? You don't need to tell us. I get it. So when you want to know, the United States here, we use the DSM-5, the Diagnostic Statistical and Manual for Mental Disorders. That's what mental health professionals use to diagnose their patients with these disorders. And so if this is something that you want to know and focus on, you got to go through that. And each of these disorders have a very specific diagnostic criteria that they have to meet or they do not have the disorder. And this is going to be hard for you who is not a mental health professional to do this. So here's 5 points to be very aware of. Hopefully you guys learned something today. Hopefully I offer something for you today. 1, they must meet the criteria. If they meet the criteria, they have the disorder. It's that simple. It's not either one. It has to be this one or that one. This one or that one. Comorbidity, number 2. You can have 2. You can have 3. It's more common than you might think. People with borderline personality disorder that are diagnosed, 40% of them are diagnosed with narcissistic as well. Pretty incredible. Not as rare as you might think. Number 3, when we're talking about personality disorders, it must show a pervasive pattern in their life. It's not situational. It's not just with you. And that might be difficult to see that in other relationships that you didn't see, or you may not see it in the relationships they have with their family or something. But there must be a pervasive pattern. They are rigid. They don't change. And it's pathological. So a very poor sense of self. You'll see that they call it personality disorder because this mental illness literally becomes like who they are. It's like all the time in all areas of their life. And they're always the same. You pull you out and put someone else. You guys sit there and wonder, are they happier with the next person? What are they like? Are they doing the same things they did with me? Yes, they are. They're very rigid. They don't have all these other options where they just do it with you and not with them. And, number 4, spectrum versus function. So people in each disorder, there's a spectrum. Okay, once they meet that criteria, still there's a spectrum. They could be very high spectrum, middle, or low. And then there's functioning. How do they function? And these are very important criteria to keep in mind when wondering what somebody has. I'm often asked, David, which one is worse, a borderline or a narcissist? A sociopath or a narcissist? And you just can't do that because one borderline could be way worse than a sociopath. One histrionic could be way worse of a person or a human being or more manipulative or more dangerous and more violent than a narcissist. Okay? Maybe you could ask yourself which one would be worse to have. Borderline is one of the worst mental illnesses in ever to have. And number 5 is overlap. Understand that when people cross that line of personality disorders, the traits are very overlapping. So borderlines might lack empathy. You see that? Doesn't mean they have narcissistic personality disorder. Again, they have to meet that criteria. Okay? Hope that makes sense. Please ask questions. Okay? Down below. So what I'm going to give is just a rough overview of borderline, narcissist, and both, and kind of show you what both looks like. Because again, you can look up the criteria yourself. I don't need to go and tell you every single diagnostic criteria for all these disorders. You can do that online. The DSM Volume 5. So, borderline personality disorder runs on one main engine. Fear of abandonment. Done it. That's why you see the love you, hate you, roller coaster, intense, unstable relationships. They'll do everything they can to control you so you don't leave them. And every single thing could be, you might be leaving me. Perceived threats. They're intense, unstable relationships they will have. Up and down, so intense, unstable, stop, start, suddenly. 1 minute you're everything, the next you're nothing. They can feel empty, self-destructive, spiral hard, and when left alone, they might not even mean to destroy you. It's just the chaos they live in and bring. So, narcissistic personality disorder. Narcissism runs on a different engine. Grandiosity and entitlement. With a real empathy deficit. They don't care. Not that they're just not aware. You point it out to them, doesn't matter when it comes right down to it. They'll fake it really well, but when you can see the cracks, you see they don't care. They can't connect to your feelings. Really important. They don't care how you feel. They can't understand it. They don't want to understand it. They don't want to take the time to understand it. Any attempts they do is pure manipulation. They exploit and use and need constant admiration. Not attention, admiration. Admire them. They have to be better than normal, better than average, special, unique. They don't just bring chaos, they feed on you. The borderline brings the chaos, it might destroy you on accident. The narcissist brings the chaos and feeds on you like a parasite. Both BPD and NPD, comorbid, together. Like I said, 40% chance. Here's where it gets dangerous. When a person has 2 cluster B personality disorders, that's where we start getting higher spectrum, lower functioning. Okay? When you multiply these traits, it's a very, very dysfunctional person. And this can come out in different areas of life. It's not just everything. Symptoms are stronger, regulation is weaker, poor functioning in the 3 pillars of instability: home, work, relationships. They may be totally reliant on their parents still living at home. They may not be able to keep a home, bounce around, stay with other people, get evicted, things like this. They may not be able to keep a job. You try really hard to get them work, they get excited, they work a few months, they work a year, stop. They may never even get a job, can't look for one even. It could be that bad. Relationships stop and start suddenly, traumatic. Now, this is the nightmare cocktail, isn't it? Cling, rage, discard, manipulate, all without empathy. So the typical female borderline narcissist is chaos. Stop and start relationships. Could be immediately, like a light switch. Exploit family, men, and no friends usually. None. Usually no friends. Not even acquaintances or even other women they even may talk to at all. Maybe none. Just men. Men online. Suitors. Men that want me. Men that are waiting for me to get out of this relationship and leave this man. And then men that I use to triangulate with the person I'm with. Just disgusting. Can't keep a job, usually. Can't make money. They'll force you to marry them, force you to have children. And you have, the whole thing is save them from their family. But their family's totally involved, judging you, in control. They act like they want to get rid of them, but they don't. Everything is absolute control. Everything. Total 100% control. your space, your time, your relationships, and your money. No matter what, they will cost you money one way or another. They may seem like, oh, no, I don't care. I wear really bland clothes, cheap. That's fine. Yeah, I don't have to get my hair done much and really ever. And I just kind of do my own nails, or I don't really care. See, I don't cost you much money, babe. $10,000 for the ambulance. $5,000 for the specialist. $8,000 of debt. Who pays it? If you're a husband and they can't keep a job, you don't. Every baiting technique possible. Start from love bombing, being nice, to look at me, you're so great, to make you dependent on me, to accuse you of things, to triangulate you, to blame you and blame you and blame you and blame you, to start threatening you, and I might take my own life. You're cheating, you're cheating, you're cheating, you're cheating, you're cheating, you're cheating, but they're cheating. Almost always. One way or another. Emotionally cheating, physically cheating, one way or another, always. The typical male BPD NPD. Maybe the most dangerous person in the world. I'm serious. Anger and rage is what they fuel on. Be very emotional, paranoid. What? What'd you say? You're out to get me. I know you are. I know you will. No empathy. None. Looks just like a sociopath. Sociopaths are still high emotional. Violent. Addictions. Hypersexual. Woman to woman to woman to woman to woman. Use them for a little while. Live with you. Take your stuff. Take your money. Go on, bounce. Say a word, they might beat you up. Nasty, nasty people. I know one. I know of one a few years ago, and boy, damn, you look at him wrong, you say one wrong thing, wow. Quick nod to histrionic personality disorder. I couldn't fit it in all today, but let me leave you with this, or maybe I just didn't put it in the title. Yes, it's in the cluster B. Wild, very similar to borderline, very narcissistic, can even look like a sociopath too. But this is very important, is driven by constant, non-stop need for attention all the time, no matter what. Center of attention, and it doesn't matter. There's no substance, there's no reason, there's nothing. It's not the narcissist that wants to be admired. It's just sit there and look at me. You don't even have to talk. Yes, I want validation. Yes, I want all these things. And to get into my stuff with me is great, but really it could be just so pathological. All there is just sit there and just listen to me, look at me, and I'm going to nonstop talk, blah, 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 blah. Attention-seeking behaviors and dramatic. So, oh my God, you have no idea what happened, and you realize afterwards nothing ever really happened. They didn't say anything. Talk over you, cut you off, use of arms, dramatic speech, no substance. I go do this, I'm really into this, but they don't ever do anything. I really want to do this, but they never try. Oh, I just love this so much, but they don't really show it. The most fakest person in the world. And this could be mixed with narcissistic personality disorder and borderline. Stuff like this. Awful. Amber Heard, borderline and histrionic, diagnosed right there in court on TV. That sucks for her. If not center of attention, drastic measures are taken. And so it could be either it's hypersexuality and I'm going to show my body off. I'm going to wear red when it's not appropriate. And I'm going to have big hair, makeup, and it doesn't have to be that. It's I'm just going to constantly cut you off and talk about me, and I'm going to be the center of this and control. I'm going to compartmentalize everybody in the room, so really none of you know each other, can talk to each other, but you're all here because of me. Or I just throw temper tantrums, drop around on the floor and scream and kick and yell, and you don't look at me. Just insane. These people are big, big problems at work. Big, big problems, if you can't see that already, right? Not just the class clown. It's they want to have sex with the teacher, and then they want to sue the school, and then sue the student and attack you. Insane. I would say a narcissist and a borderline is more capable and willing to sit in your light with you for a moment. You could tell a borderline, a narcissist, something. They may be entertained by what you're saying and be maybe kind of interested in what you're saying and let you talk a little bit, right? The histrionic, no. It can never be about you. Never. And that's why they often, the emotional regulation from one to another to another to another, like the drunk can't handle their views. That's why they get accused of being borderline. They're so selfish and self-centered. That's why they get accused of being a narcissist. They can be so violent and against people and attack people. They can be accused of being a sociopath. So at the end of the day, guys, borderline, histrionic, narcissist, both, it doesn't really matter, does it? It doesn't really matter. What really matters is the pain and the damage they cause you. How dangerous toxic people are. You've got unstable, toxic people who can't care for themselves. And then you've got others that will hurt other people. Both can be damaging. Both are unhealthy. Both we don't need in our lives. What we need to do is just try to accept what you see and stop doubting yourself. Number one symptom of these relationships is self-doubt. And we're doing it. I know. Thank you very much for your thumbs up and subscribing to this channel. Please ask questions, share your own experiences, your own comments, your own thoughts, your own opinions. I love it down below. It's a safe place. Keep it clean. If you want coaching, find me at daviddevars.com. And most importantly, love yourself first, guys. Thanks. Bye-bye.